Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Purposes of the Pale. I am Curious, freshly turned 18 adult man, and here with my baby boy, Gray.
Hello.
He's the baby boy.
So this podcast is officially a minor and an adult. So
Yes, I am officially the groomer of Gray Link.
why did YouTube do this? Why did they decide to change their play bar's color? Why is it a gradient now?
Really? It's a gradient now?
Yeah.
Wow.
Have you not noticed, or is it not there for you? I'll send you the thing. Oh my god, it's so infuriating. Oh man.
For me, it's still red.
No, it is red, but at the end.
Oh, that's odd. Oh, yeah, I mean, it happens with the YouTube Music, I think. So, yeah, I do see it. You know, the more annoying thing is when in mobile apps, I don't know if you watch YouTube on your phone that much, but in mobile apps, usually, you had the thing where because you have ADHD and you were a dumb zoomer, you watch a video, the video's playing, and then you put it down. You swipe down.
Yeah.
And now, instead of just a little tab below, under, in the very bottom of the screen, now it's some kind of floating shit that's so annoying and so big, and it's annoying as fuck. I'll send you a screenshot later, but it's fucking annoying. I don't get it.
I use the YouTube Revanced mod, so I don't think I get that.
Yeah. I should get that, but I already have the YouTube Music and stuff. I'm paying for it. So yeah, I'm a cuck. I pay for things. Yes.
Yep. Filthy bourgeois. Fuck you.
Yeah. Today I actually wanted to, because I was out in the center, I wanted to buy the Twin Fantasy vinyl. But I was like, you know what? I should save money because I want to go to London by the end of the year. So I'm being fiscally responsible. First thing as
being a responsible adult. Oh
yes, exactly. All right, so yeah, after when this video comes out, it's gonna be already a few weeks after that. But yeah, today is Curious Man's birthday. I am now officially 18 years old. I can buy drugs. I mean, not drugs. I mean, buy alcohol and get cigarettes and energy drinks. And I'm gonna try all of them together tonight.
Wait.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Speedrunning overdosing. Okay.
Overdosing.
Could he not drink alcohol before this? Isn't it 16 in Latvia?
No, it's 18. It's in some European countries, 16, but in Latvia it's 18. I mean, people in Europe, the age of drinking is when you have the guts for it. So you just do it whenever you want. It's not a thing. But I can do it officially. Right.
Nice.
Some of my friends, they look so old, even though they're 16 because they have body. Yeah, they have full on a beard, hairy as fuck. So it's they don't even get questioned. But I have a baby face, unfortunately. Also because I'm Asian. All right, great. How's been your week?
Oh man, my week. Well, it's been okay, I guess. I've been home most of this week because of a lot of stuff happening in my school that I'm not a part of. I released a video.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. Yes, that is this week. Oh my God, time is not real anymore.
Indeed.
Jeez. Yeah. The video called Twin Peaks and something. Hello, my sister. You want to join the podcast? Go away. Go away. I know. I need to preach you something. Go away. We're keeping that in. I'm breaking the virtual wall.
Yep.
Yeah, it's called Twin Peaks: Life is Strange and How Nostalgia Kills, and it's gotten the approval of the trans Marxist community. So I think it's a win.
It is a win. Well, I don't have much to say about it. It's been doing quite well.
Yeah, I saw. The first 24 hours, I was like, no, my boy, no, because it was doing kind of bad.
Yeah.
But then I saw it pick up steam, and I was like, yes, let's go, my boy. My boy's doing well. And I saw a comment calling you a genius.
I came home today. I was feeling a little down. I was feeling exhausted, and then I saw the comment calling me a genius.
Sweet validation.
Yeah. Immediately, I had a boner.
that was an unwanted detail, Mr. Gray. All right, well, you know what? The future stalkers of Gray, yandere stalkers can use this as reference material for what to do when they get him captured somewhere in Venezuela.
What the fuck?
All right.
Um,
My week has been similar. I also didn't go to school for a lot of it because nobody's at school, and also the lessons are basically over after the grades are done. So before like today until yesterday, I was working a lot on my novel and short stories, and I got quite a few. I mean, I didn't get it done, unfortunately, but I did have a lot of progress, and I'm gonna keep working on it. But this time, not exclusively on it anymore, because I have all the other shit, like the podcast, and also my own videos, which I'm slowly getting back into, and that's exciting. And the next week is a holiday, so I will do more of that. No lifing the shit out of this YouTube thing.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But more about your video, because I also don't have much to say at this point, because it's just another good video. Like I like that how you present arguments. I think it's very compelling, very interesting, and nobody's doing what you're doing on YouTube, and that's something I can only say about a few YouTubers. So
That's
it's great
to hear. Yeah.
Just keep it up. And yeah, I also like the little experimental ending by the end of the video. Though you did interrupt it by just going to the Patreon listing, which I know it's an obligation, but
it is. Yeah, I mean they're paying for it, so like
yeah. But a lot of Emily Dory, for example, the VN YouTuber girl, she does the Patreon shoutouts in the middle of the video, and then. Also because she has a lot of patrons, so I guess it makes sense. While the names are scrolling by, she actually talks about answers a few questions, or that's a short little life update thing, and I kind of like that. I like how I think Hazel also does the same thing before her Patreon got so big that she didn't do that anymore, which is that's first world problems. Am I right?
Yeah. Maybe I should
be
do
an
that too, because like I don't upload like too often, right? I mean I do upload consistently. I mean, knock on wood.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and especially later, if your gray enterprises becomes more popular, I think it's a good strategy, and you can
the gray empire. How dare you say enterprise?
Enterprise, like a filthy capitalist.
Yeah, I'm not in the enterprise business. I'm the empire business, baby.
Just going from capitalism to imperialism. Awesome. All right. I saw that you watched 2 movies about a certain little guy.
I did. Yeah.
How was that?
I mean, you saw the ratings too, right? They were good. Okay. They were good movies.
Yeah. So let's back up a bit. So what is the?
I watched Steven Soderbergh's duology on Che Guevara. Have you heard of Steven Soderbergh?
No, but I'm looking up right now, and Ocean's 11.
He's kind of weird because he's like made like really like Hollywood blockbuster type of movies. He's a director. If you didn't know. Yeah. And he also directed this Che Part 1 and Che Part 2. They're like both of them are 2-hour plus movies. Wow. They're chronicling the life, not the life of, but like the political activities of Che Guevara. So Soderbergh is kind of weird because his the stuff he's known for are like the most generic Hollywood action blockbuster stuff, like Ocean's 11. But he's also like seems to be very, progressive. As in, of course, he did Che. He also produced Citizen 4, which we talked about in the last last episode. It is. So and he's also doing some kind of weird stuff in his website. I think I'm not too sure about it, but I've heard somewhere that he's doing like his filmmaking is now he's doing something with his website, which is not something that usually people like him, in that people who people who got big out of making high budget blockbuster stuff do. So
I'm looking that he directed a movie called The Laundromat in 2019, and. It's weird because I remember my politics teacher talking about this movie and about how it's about money laundering in the Panama region and how that's so common because like they have like 1% tax rate or some crazy shit like that. And he was talking about it. I was like, wow, this is the only time my teacher ever mentioned the movie, and yeah, it's just weird that it's all linking together. I want to watch it actually. It could be interesting considering his streak.
Patrick Willems doesn't like it, I guess.
Why doesn't he like it?
I don't know. He says, this whole movie is about Panama Papers, and after watching it, I still don't understand the Panama Papers.
Well, maybe, perhaps it's not good. Yeah, I look at all the ratings. It's like, 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10. Damn. Okay. Interesting.
I mean, we'll see. But yeah, Steven Soderbergh is an interesting fellow. He's also directed Magic Mike, which is...
Oh, wait, that's him?
Yeah.
Magic Mike. Holy shit. Okay.
And he's also directed Contagion, which got popular during the pandemic because obviously it did. Which I watched with my family a while back. It's a pretty tense film. I mean, for the time, of course. Do you know anything about Contagion?
It's about a contagious disease.
Yep, it's about an epidemic that started in China.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. And obviously it got popular during the pandemic because obviously. Yeah.
Why is Matt Damon in like all of these?
Oh, of course he is.
Matt Damon, my idol. Okay, actually about the movies though, about Che 1 part 1 and part 2. How are they? Like as maybe do you know much about like him before or
I mean before this, obviously who hasn't seen his like what do you call him? Visage? Or
what?
Something? No.
What are they trying to say?
The symbol on t-shirts and shit.
Oh, yeah, that, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, it's called a visage. Holy shit. I'm so proud of myself.
Wow,
yeah, a person's face with reference to the form or proportion of the features. Yeah, that's exactly it. Holy shit.
Oh, shit. That's great. It looks like really Andy Warhol-esque. Do you know Andy Warhol?
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously, it's like, Che Guevara, he is... Okay, let's start from the top, right? Che Guevara is a real dude who really existed. He basically was a guerrilla, not a Maoist, but like a Marxist guerrilla who fought against the Batista regime in Cuba alongside Fidel Castro. And, they won and Castro came into power. And afterwards, he left to do the same thing in all of Latin America. However, in Bolivia, he was captured and assassinated by, I think, by the army, a Bolivian army, I think. But yeah, he's like an icon of revolution worldwide. However, in the past maybe 20-10 years, Che Guevara he's like very popular in that he's become a kind of a symbol of prestige, and he's like printed on t-shirts and mugs, which would say some weird pseudo-revolutionary bullshit. Like I don't know, my home, my rules or something.
My stomach hurts. It's time to destroy capitalism.
Yep, something like that. But yeah, Che, that's. I mean, most people probably recognize his silhouette or like his as I said, visage, because they've probably seen it because it's very popular. That's pretty much all I knew. I mean, I also knew a little bit more than that because again, my parents are like more engaged in this sort of politics and stuff like that. So I knew a little bit more growing up about Che Guevara. And now I've watched the film and I know a lot more. And they're great films, by the way. They're excellently shot. They are really, I mean, I wouldn't say they're very realistic in that, they're very muted. You won't see many or like much dramatization in either of these films. And even less so in the second film, which there is. I think I read a review by Daniel Simpson, who I mentioned in the last episode. He's the person behind Eyebrow Cinemas. It's a great channel for film, basically video essays. Anyway, so he says both, although they're called Che Part 1 and Che Part 2, they're both very different, and not different, but like distinct films. The first one is very saturated. Most of the film takes place in the forest, in the jungle, because they're guerrillas and they're fighting. And it's really beautiful, and they're like wearing like mute green army, like Maoist, not Maoist, but it's associated with Maoism here. But they're wearing guerrilla like uniform, and they're in the forest. It's very saturated, and they're winning. They win in the first part because that's what happened. Fidel Castro and Che Guevara, it's not a coup, but they brought the revolution to Cuba, and then they overtook the Batista regime. And the second one, he loses. They lose. He dies. And the second one is way less saturated. It's very muted. It's even less dramatic than the first one. The first one is like there is a bit of hope and like energy in the first one, and the second one it's very like dim, not hopeless, but still dim and like dark.
I wonder, there must be something else that did something like that, right? Like when there's like two parts of a movie, and they maybe the human condition if we watch that later. But like I'm just reminded of like stuff that changes tone as like the trilogy, as the movie trilogy or duology progresses. I need some maybe pick my brain about that. I forgot.
Maybe Harry Potter. I don't know.
No, Harry Potter fucking sucks.
Kinda.
It went from like good to bad.
Films are like, yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess that's one kind of it. But yeah.
Che. They're two great films, or not great, but great films. I gave them like 4 stars. They're great. If you want to know more about Che Guevara, who the person is, even if you don't agree with his tactics, his politics and stuff, you should still watch it because they're very good at providing the story or what happened from their point of view.
That sounds cool. I also watched the movie. Its name was
Holy shit! Did you really?
I watched a movie. It's actually it's been like a month since I saw a movie.
Did you watch the movie?
The movie.
The only movie?
I watched High and Low by Akira Kurosawa, one of his more acclaimed ones, with an excellent poster. That's why I wanted to watch it. So I didn't know anything about it before coming in. That's how I like to watch my movies, and it's. There are a lot of great, really, really good things I want to talk about, but also some parts that are kind of underwhelming compared to the other 2 movies I've seen, which is Ikiru and Seven Samurai, which I basically consider perfect. Besides maybe Ikiru having some weird narration thing that could be because it's like from like 100 years ago.
Yeah.
But High and Low. It's interesting that it's translated to High and Low because the original title was Heaven and Hell. I think maybe High and Low gives it like a more sophisticated thing, like a more modern feeling compared to
Heaven and Hell.
Heaven and Hell, and it's definitely trying to be something of the time. But so basically, what this movie is about the character Gondo. He's a executive at a shoes company, and he is suddenly being threatened that his kid got kidnapped, and then you're like, oh, that's bad, but they're trying to pay ransom. And then it's just like, okay, it's actually not his kid, it's this other kid that looks similar, which is his chauffeur's kid. And that's the guy who's getting kidnapped. And but he, the kidnapper is still demanding money. All the while, he is also in a very pivotal moment in his career because he needs to buy out the shares, or else he'll be kicked out of the company because he has a different creative vision than the people who just want to make cheap things. He wants to make quality shoe wear because he's coming from a really traditional place with that. Well, not traditional. He just really has integrity in this work, basically.
Yeah.
And the first half, because I didn't I did not even look up how long the movie was. I downloaded the file, but I didn't look at it. So I wanted to go into all of these movies really blindly. So but for the first hour, it's just this really, really intense drama about what the fuck he's gonna do, right? Because he can pay the ransom, but then his whole life is ruined. What does he do? well, not his whole life, but like he's throwing his business away, and he says, but the business is a part of me. What do I do about it? And you see all these different developments, and there's so many times that they're just so close to making a decision, but something happens, and then he has to contemplate again and again. And I kind of don't even want to spoil further because it's, you know what? Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna spoil what decision he makes, but just he it's a very, very important one, and it's very impactful.
Yeah,
but then
I've heard a lot of good stuff about this film, so I've been wanting to watch it. I even like started watching it, but like I couldn't find a copy that had subtitles floating in the water or something. So
I had to, the subtitles in usually our usual avenues are fucking awful, so I had to look up like subtitles from the Criterion collection or something, so to download it in some other site that had a 10 download limit a day, which is very legit.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's the first half of the movie. It's just super intense. Really, I love how contained it is, right? How contained it is. And it also plays into the theme because this guy is some upper class dude. He's literally watching over the shots of the movie, watching over in this giant fucking mansion to the people down there. And that's also feeds into how this conflict is so contained that you don't see the outside world for like the first at least an hour.
I heard Jacob Geller mention this. I think
really?
While talking about some game which represents its classes, like social classes in terms of elevation. So like the rich people live high above, and like the poorer people, working class, live down below. And like he talks about like how like elevation and like the y-axis is used to represent or like portray the class relations. So he brought this one up. Yeah.
That's definitely a good point, a great focus on the movie. But later, after he makes this pivotal decision and he has to follow, basically the murderer is not the murderer, but the kidnapper is laying out this really intricate thing that they have to do. Like he's really, just behind the shadows doing whatever the fuck, and he's being really not just threatening, but also taunting towards Gondo. He's like, fucking, I know you want to, he's like, I know you're not strong for this innocent person to die. He's, he was really just kind of has some personal hatred towards him for some reason. But then later we switch the perspective to the policemen, who you can see later on in the poster, listening to the call, and they basically launch into this investigation about this man, and it becomes a pretty good procedural. I still enjoyed it quite a bit, and especially, man, I think I watched Ikiru and Seven Samurai around like earlier this year or late last year, but god damn it, I forgot how much of a master he is at constructing shots and just making things feel good to watch. Every time cameras move in this movie, I was like, yes, please move more. It's so cool the way it was moving. And it's just about how I think, probably channels like Every Frame of Painting has discussed this, but just the way he's putting people in scenes, it's so meticulous, and the way, crowds are being utilized. Like there's so many scenes, especially in the second half, where they're just like sitting in this giant room of policemen going through their reports, and it's engaging because it's just so much detail happening everywhere, and I love it. I loved watching this movie like as an experience. Nice. But I would say that the plot got a bit less interesting because the strong moral quandary got resolved, not resolved, but like kind of, it got put aside to do this now. And then later when this is not really a spoiler, you kind of expect them to catch the killer. It just kind of got worse because this movie, even though it's really well written, well constructed, it also just kind of fails at making a super compelling villain. That and there's some part of me that wants to say it's intentional, but it doesn't mean that I enjoyed it, and especially how the theme of high and low, because you're like, oh wow, I like how implicit it was in the first little section, and in the second one it's not really mentioned and it's fine, but then it's just the way they try to make it explicit in the last scenes of the movie, it didn't fly that well for me. And I think this is why unfortunately I can't like rate it as high as the other ones I've done, because even though it's really well constructed, really well written, first half fucking perfect, later on it just kind of trails off into a more generic thing, and that's where it's sad, which is kind of controversial I think, because people love this movie. Like this is like second highest rated on Letterboxd.
Yeah.
Which is I don't know, but yeah, I found some problems with it, but I still recommend it to everybody. Fucking
he turns
Mifune
18
in this movie.
And he immediately has a hot take. Wow.
Yes. Yeah, fucking Mifune in this movie, great. You know, the main character he plays. I saw the last time I saw him was in Seven Samurai as this youthful little kid, and now he's playing this like tortured businessman. And it's like, God, that's awesome. And every character is great. I did not know that the chief investigator here, Tokura, is actually also the main character in Harakiri, because the Harakiri protagonist is like, you know, all dirty and has a large beard. But then he turns around and plays this really polished guy, you know, investigating. It's super suave. It's like, what the fuck? That's crazy. And, you know, I love, maybe this is just because, like, back in the day, they didn't have a lot of good actors. But I like how, you know, all these movies have the same actors, basically. And you can trace it.
Yeah, I mean, he was also in Seven Samurai.
Yeah, but like as some uncredited guy. So, like, there were a lot of uncredited people in Seven Samurai because it was such a huge movie. But yeah, High and Low, it was great, and I definitely want to see more of Kurosawa. I want to watch the Yojimbo and Sanjuro trilogy next. Not trilogy, duology.
They're great.
Oh, they're good? Would you say that they're as good as Ikiru and Seven Samurai?
I mean, I wouldn't like compare them.
Oh.
They're different. Ikiru is a different kind of thing, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, Ikiru is definitely different. Yeah, I want to watch
Yojimbo
more Japanese
and
movies.
Sanjuro, they're like... I think we can compare them to more like action hero kind of stuff.
Oh, okay. So like, you know, the old Western movies kind of?
Yeah, sorta.
I see. Well, yeah, Seven Samurai and the Mischievous Seven. What if I did? Yeah, Seven Samurai inspired a lot of Western movies. So I'm not surprised by that. Yeah, that's interesting. Also, Rashomon and all of that. I also want to watch Mishima, the movie. I just
by who?
Paul Schrader, the 1985 one.
I've also been wanting to watch it because I watched Paul Schrader's First Reformed a while back, and I really liked it. So,
yeah.
First Reformed, by the way, is like a very good anti-doomerist film, in my opinion, and like in my interpretation.
Really,
it also has to deal. It also deals with, like, you know, the big C word and also climate change, or like the other C word.
Interesting. Yeah, they're both C
and also
words.
faith and love and all that stuff. And it's very hopeful, although you wouldn't say it if you were like, you know, if you were a normie, let's say.
Okay. All right. Well, that sounds interesting. I definitely want to consume more media. Also watch more Shinji Iwai movies. Picnic. Undo what I want to do, all of that, because I'm 18 now, and now the YouTube age restriction is not stopping me anymore. But yeah, I watched the movie. I think. Do you have other updates you want to get through?
I have one thing. I watched a book.
You watched a book. Yeah.
Yep.
How would you rate this on a back boxed? Oh wait, no, good boxed.
Back boxed. What?
Yeah, good boxed. I wanted to say Goodreads and Letterboxd together, but then I just went into
letter reads.
Yeah,
that makes sense, unfortunately. Yeah. I read The Wretched of the Earth by Frantz Fanon.
So who is this guy? Who the fuck is this guy? Like, why is he important?
Frantz Fanon is a psychiatrist from the French the ex-French colony, Martinique.
Martinaise? What? No, go on.
Martinique. And he's like very well known in theory circles, but like not in the way that, say, Sartre or like, I don't know, the other famous people are well known. His theory is often is often mentioned alongside the word controversial.
Okay.
Because so Frantz Fanon, he was a psychiatrist. I think he studied a lot of theory, and this was back when psychology and like psychiatry were interlinked with psychoanalysis, and since psychoanalysis is of course always linked with general philosophy and theory as such. So he leans more towards like Freud and Lacan psychoanalysis. I said Lacan.
Oh my god.
and not towards, I don't know, fucking Young or who the fuck, I don't know, modern day therapist basically.
My God,
so
Jordan Peterson.
Yep, his deal is that he is an anti-colonialist writer.
Okay.
And he basically, the Wretched of the Earth, he's also a Marxist, and he approaches the process of decolonization through a dialectical materialist lens. So he views the reaction that a native as in the colonized, which he calls the native, a native has towards the settler or the colonizer, that reaction must be violent in his view, and that's because colonization itself is a violent process. Obviously, it's an assertion of one culture and one way of life over another. It basically rips away any identity that the native ever had and makes him less than human, right?
Yeah.
So decolonization must be a violent process, whether it be decolonization, national liberation, freedom, whatever it is, it must be a violent process. And that I genuinely do agree with it, because even though like India, I'm from India, and like it's like one of the most well-known examples of what you may call a non-violent freedom movement kind of thing, which isn't true, because it's only non-violent as long as you decide to squint and like close one eye and squint the other, basically, because there a lot of stuff happened, a lot of people like fought back, but we only remember like the one bald guy with the glasses, and who slept with children anyway. So it must be a violent process. He says the violence is the way through which man recreates himself. In a colonized setting.
What is that? Oh, okay. In a colonized setting. I thought it was general.
The book has the preface for the book is written. The book is called The Wretched of the Earth, by the way. I didn't mention it. The Wretched of the Earth. The preface of the book is written by Sartre, who was a big supporter of Fanon. And also Fanon was also very influenced by Sartre. And Sartre writes that for Fanon, basically, when a native kills a colonizer, he actually kills two birds with one stone. After the murder, or after the killing, we have two dead people. One is a colonizer, and the other is a slave person, is a slave, and then we have a free man.
Okay.
So. Basically, violence is a big part, and violence is a necessity in decolonization. He says that this violence becomes a sort of a psychological necessity for the colonized people, which I guess we can really see in like contemporary situation with the obvious Gaza. The October 7th strike. I guess you could say you could view it from Fanon's lens. The whole book is about decolonization. How decolonization cannot be. He also it also cannot be like a national thing. I mean, it is national in that a nation is reclaiming itself from the imperial powers, but it also cannot be a national thing, because decolonization must take place at a global scale. You cannot decolonize a singular country and hope to live happily ever after. After your country is decolonized, you must either help or support the other decolonized countries to decolonize. Otherwise, it won't work. And he also says that decolonization must be socialist, because which is also a very dialectical thing, because colonization historically has been it's not exactly that colonization is a capitalist thing, but it was spurred on due to capitalism's inherent need to expand and to counteract that, decolonization must be a socialist movement. And then there's a lot of stuff about national culture and like national consciousness and how to fight. How to fight as not like it's not a manifesto or like a how-to guide, but like a lot of dialectical unfoldings of how the process of decolonization happens. We can see a lot of Hegel's signs of logic, like that. The same type of movements happen in this book, which once you recognize, you will feel like you'll feel like a third eye has been opened. You'll be really like amazed if you're like really paying attention. I mean, I wasn't like I'm pretty sure like a lot of the stuff flew right over my head, but the stuff I did notice, it was top of the line. So yeah, great book. Again, a lot of people say it's controversial, even though a lot of people will probably like agree with him.
Yeah. I think it was J.J. McCullough. He's a centrist in many ways, but he did talk about how, for example, even in protests, right? The reason why, for example, they had to sign the Civil Rights Act, and like Martin Luther King, he was the advocate, is because, well, if he couldn't agree with them, the people had to face a much more violent group of activists, but that were gonna do something worse, right? So they had to, do the peaceful route with Martin Luther King, and the same thing happened with Nelson Mandela as well in South America. So I think protests in general probably has a more violent component to it than people like to admit, because maybe they're just like, they want to be like, let's talk it out. The oppressors really like that narrative. So
obviously they do. And also like Fanon was also a big inspiration for Malcolm X.
Oh, okay.
Who we talked about in a previous episode. Holy shit.
Yeah, oh my god. It's all coming back together. Wow. That's crazy.
There's cohesion. It's continuity.
Continuity. Yeah, we're going to build lore. I'm going to die for a few episodes. You're going to do a satanic Indian ritual. Yeah, Satan, the big part of Hinduism. And then and then you can revive me, and then we'll go on, but I'll just like be slightly capitalist sometimes, but like not enough for you to notice it until I go into a full like ANCAP demon, and then you have to kill me again, and then maybe
okay.
I have big plans for this podcast after I turn 18. Great, that's the thing. Okay, well, that's a great update. You're ready to get into the main show?
Okay, let's do it.
Yes. So this is the thing that we've done. I think we did in the previous iteration of this podcast, like the second or third episode, it's 3x3s, and more specifically, we're doing a YouTuber's 3x3. 9 of our favorite creators, and we talk about them, and we glaze them, and that's it.
So who's starting?
I think we can go.
Okay. Generally speaking, I do think I have less to say about these people, although I love them a lot. Love them. I don't love them. Parasocial is, oh my god.
Okay, well then we can just like send our lists to each other right now, and then we can talk about it, and we can just like pick a guy to start. Okay, so I guess I'll start, because while doing this 3x3, I put, I guess, a little bit, a smidgen of my brain cell into like organizing it. So yeah, it's gonna be on screen now, and I organized it in kind of rows. So the first row is anime creators, and the second row is old fucks, and the third row is, well, Dunkey is kind of just anomaly, but CJDX and Savannah Brown, they are millennial fucks. So they're just different age ranges, I guess, and different demographics somehow. I don't know. And
my favorite age range, anime.
Yes. And I guess I could start just wherever. I'll just start with the one that's on the top left. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is, if you don't know, it's a Trixie the Golden Witch, or formerly known as Digibro. Now, for a while, I didn't want to put them in my 3x3 because I consider their content kind of like worse now. But, as I think I mentioned in a previous episode, their content after they've kind of settled into this new identity and gathered more life experience, and now they're approaching anime in this new way after so much. Like, I feel like every time they speak, they're like a weathered veteran talking about this in like some weird way, because they were talking about how they were the first people to be on the internet. in that way, and like how that's influenced them. And it's a very unique perspective that I think anime YouTube is sorely missing. Like this person who's been here for a fucking long time, and has had considerable influence on the people that I'm gonna mention in the same row. So yeah, it's just really cool. It feels like what's an example? Maybe if like maybe if like a big famous rock star came back and like started doing shows with underground artists now. But okay, maybe that's putting her on too much of a pedestal. She just makes anime videos. Okay. But yeah, that's Trixie, the world in which I recommend her Perfect Blue video, which is God. That one is really good. And also a video about not using rating scores anymore. And you know, it's not really about how scores are useless because but it's more about how scores is useless in the conversation. It's good to probably have your own rating, but it's the least interesting thing people can talk about when it comes to discussing media, which I definitely agree with. And
my personal favorite. I mean, I've always liked her. What was that one? We do not accept, or like mediocrity or something.
We have accepted mediocrity.
Yeah. That was my favorite for a while, but then I watched the one about aesthetics.
Yeah. Aesthetics is
narrative or something.
Aesthetics
which I really liked because a lot, like too much of anime YouTube and like anime discussion, or like discussion of media in general, is so hyper focused on the writing, and everyone's like, the writing is like. The writing isn't that good. It's not very tight. It's not very that. It's not very that. Oh, fuck off. I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
And the characters don't make sense. Holy fucking shit. It's so annoying and frustrating and so infuriating to listen to college kids and like being contrarian for the sake of being contrarian. I really hate those kind of people. Anyway.
Yeah, let's ignore the 40-minute video on Oshinoko, which is basically just that. No, I mean, yeah, I do agree, right? There's much more interesting things you could talk about, like, and I'm definitely, as I grow up, I'm more interested in the vibe-based analysis than narrative stuff, because I realized that you usually can't after getting into like music and more, I guess, visceral things, and also liking stuff that nobody likes, like Blade. I kind of think that
so you finally accepted that fact.
I finally accepted that I just have bad taste and I'm not gonna try to justify it. I'm just gonna talk about
shit.
But either way, so that's why Trixie's on there. She's still great. I'm just hoping her the best, really, for the rest of her creative life. However long she decides to stay on this platform. But next to her is Crunchybagels, a new addition to the list. Kexi should have probably been on here, but he hasn't made anything in the fucking year because he's busy hanging out with his girlfriend. So I'm like, god damn it. But Crunchybagels is here, and he is, I think, probably the most promising anime YouTuber coming up right now. One thing that's
I've only seen one video of his. And I really fucking hated it.
Which one?
we talked about it. It's the Scott Pilgrim vs. the World video.
Oh, right. Yeah.
He was exactly the same as what I just described with the college kids being writing is bad because that and characters don't make sense. Fuck off.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think when I said more promising, it's mostly based on his latest video, which is a 2-hour long documentary about this weird fan anime culture on YouTube in the early 2010s, and talking about like these really fucking amateur things and like weaving a narrative of like genuine compassion and like contrasting it with the internet right now. I feel like he does make very salient points about like there's a little bit of like a nostalgia maybe, but like he's not even old enough to have nostalgia. It's just like wishing for the older times, but he does convey it in a way that's genuine, and he's talking about like how the content right now just feels so much more soulless, and also I might be a bit biased because I read his book, which is not really considered here. I did read his book called the After School Novelist Club, I think. Volume 1. He's gonna do more volumes in the future, and damn, wow, that was a very enjoyable little romp. He definitely has a good sense of like prose, and I really enjoyed the message of like
I haven't read it yet. You did send me. I'll read it.
Maybe we shouldn't say that because he said it was gonna be secret. No, never mind. Nobody's gonna fucking watch this anyways.
Okay.
Yeah. But
okay, okay, then I don't know what you're talking about. That was schizophrenia. Sorry.
Yes. But yeah. And also the new video also has this new OC of his, because he usually just like uses some fucking Toru from Dragon Maid image. But now there's the whole OC aesthetic, and it's a very well put together video that made me reminded me of why I liked YouTube in the first place, right? Because it's about people talking about niche topics.
The OC profile picture is way better because the Dragon Maid one, it probably like that face, the smug face, probably tainted my opinion of him. Probably.
Yeah. This one with like a slightly worried girl with a bagel
anxious,
on her is definitely better. But I think also I wanted to put him here because he's very much a protege of Trixie. He is admitted to like being a really big fan of Digibro. And he's talking about like how he has his obviously his own pool of influences, but he wants to continue like making good anime related videos, and obviously not just anime, but like more anime adjacent stuff. And also he's making a video on Geometry Dash next, but I'm just kind of interested in where he goes. I'm interested in where he goes because
I'll watch the latest video because it's been on my radar.
It's proved that anime YouTube can still be kind of good. But I'm actually more excited to talk about the guy right next to him, King motherfucking Recon. Do you know about King Recon?
No, this is the first time I've heard of him, I think.
So here is the sectors of anime fans I kind of wanted to represent. So the old OG guys who basically started this whole thing, and then the new guys who are continuing it. And then there's this other part where he's not really an analyst. I mean, he talks about media. He talks about the stuff he likes. But the thing about him is just he's the most happy motherfucker of all time. like his Twitter bio is something like having fun is not a waste of time or something. And he loves One Piece. He talks about it, he talks about One Piece, talks about like mostly shonen stuff, also like Final Fantasy. But just the way he is so passionate about everything, it's infectious, bro. Like watch one of his videos and he's like, oh god, One Piece is the greatest thing of all time. I was like, god damn. And he's always so positive in everything. I wouldn't consider any of his like analysis super in-depth or clever. It's more like the stuff that we do just on the fly on the podcast. But the way he delivers it is just like, God, this really means so much to him. And I love his energy, man. And also just his tweets. If you go to his tweets, it's mostly just him screaming. It's mostly him screaming about whatever the fuck. He's like, yes.
I'm looking through it right now.
Yeah, he played recently Ace Attorney. And he's like, thank you, Capcom. Thank you, Shukugumi, for blessing us with this goat piece. Yeah, I was like, God, he's very much indebted into like the Twitter speak, like modern kind of media discussion, but it's the good side. It's like when he's just hyping up a lot of stuff, and it's not like disingenuous. He genuinely feels that way, and it's just great. I constantly check back with his stuff, even though I don't even keep up with the latest One Piece chapters or like care about any of the RPGs he's talking about, but like just the way he talks, and then also I don't want to dunk on the guy, but he has this really like derpy, like happy looking face. Like he shows his face on the channel, and like the way he smiles, I just want to smile when I see him. King motherfucking Recon, the goat. That's. I don't have a much of a thesis, but yeah, King Recon is great. Let me drink some water.
Maybe I'll go 3 then.
Yeah, that's a good way. That's a good pace to go.
Okay, so since I haven't made the graphic yet, I can just go. I can pick one and just go, right?
Yeah. Oh god, I'll fucking have to make the graphic, but okay.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. So I guess we'll start with someone that I found only a couple of months ago, right? No, a few months ago. A couple of months ago. Well, how much is a couple? This is too late.
Okay, you could say that.
A few months ago, maybe half a dozen months ago.
Yes.
Anyway, Noah Caldwell-Gervais.
Yeah, you sent to me his Dark Souls videos, right?
Yeah. He's been on YouTube for a while. He is known for his multi-hour long retrospectives / analysis videos about video games, especially like long-running video games. I think his most popular video is the first one that I ever watched. I watched this because Lextorius mentioned his video in his a video about horror games and how horror games eventually become not scary, not unscary. Why did I say that? Not scary because that's how horror is. The Resident Evil video is a 7-hour long retrospective into the entire series of Resident Evil. And it's... So, like, the thing with Noah Gervais is that he is... So, first of all, listening to his videos is incredible because, like, he has such a theatrical voice, or, like, the way he speaks is like... It's like a person from the early 1920s talking about Resident Evil when you're making coffee, basically. It's very,
this Leon Kennedy's fellow is quite splendid.
No, that's British for no reason.
I don't know.
No, not like that, but like, maybe not 1920, but maybe like 1950 or 60. He has a very old American kind of way of speaking, and it's also like he has an incredible voice, and the stuff he said, he's a really good writer and a really good conveyor of what he wants to say or what he notices in a game, and he's a very good analyst. He talks about, he's not only good at talking about. So this is another thing. This is a huge thing. If you look at my 3x3, which hopefully is a graphic by the time this video is out. You'll see that a lot of the people I have are political YouTubers or like politics. They're not like outright politics, but like politics adjacent, right?
Yeah.
And Noah Gervais is like one of quite a few games writers who isn't afraid to look at politics. In fact, I think his approach to politics and like sociology is probably like the most respectable like view or stance that you can have.
Okay, but what do you mean by that? Yeah.
Which is that, like, he has no real opinion about talking about politics. A lot of people are like, I don't talk about politics because it's such a controversial thing. Or like, I don't talk about politics because I'm apolitical. He doesn't care. If it's something in the game, he'll talk about it because it's a part of the game. It's a part of life. It's a part of the world. He'll talk about it. He doesn't like have that kind of stuff about to say. And like his analysis is also great. And also I'm in the process of watching his... again, quite a big. Let me check how long it is. I'm pretty sure it's like over 5 or 6 hours. He not only does video games, but also he has a 7-hour long video about the Lincoln Highway across America on the first. Across America on the first transcontinental motor route. He's just great.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Is it good? Railways?
It is. It really is. Man. You should definitely check it out. I mean, obviously, you probably won't watch it through in one sitting. Obviously, you won't. I mean, I didn't.
Yeah.
But it's not even like background. It's like the best kind of background noise. It's not even. I don't want to call it noise.
Yeah. That's not very disrespectful. But yeah, that sounds interesting. Like what he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, check out Noah Gervais. It's such a shame that he's still like only like what 287,000 subscribers, because like he started like what 11 years ago.
Wow. Well, I'm sure he's not. His content is a certain niche, and I think he's happy to.
That is true. That is true. Yeah. He also has a very good video on the complete Call of Duty single player campaign critique for PC.
Interesting. That's cool.
All right. Yeah.
What else do you want to mention?
Next would be, since I talked about a games person now, let's talk about a non-games person. Let's talk about Dr. Fatima.
Who is Dr.
Which is
Fatima?
Somebody that I only discovered recently. Again, this list is like a recent kind of thing. It's not like a set in stone, static, metaphysical, representation of my interests. This is just something that I'm interested in right now to talk about. So Dr. Fatima is, I think she is someone, she's a doctor of like a science, astrophysics. But if you look at her channel, she is also a very big, she talks about a lot of theory, like philosophy and theory. And she talks about the philosophy of science, if you want to really, really simplify it. She has a video. The first one I watched of hers is the physicist who tried to debunk postmodernism.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, which is about the Sokol hoax, the Sokol thing, where a guy named Alan or Alfred, I don't fucking care.
Okay.
Fucking Sokol.
Yeah.
A dude who was like, these filthy woke postmodernists think that I don't know, they want to destroy truth and science, and so he tried to like basically do the meme where a person says something and then you say the same thing but like in a funny voice, thinking that you're kind of debunking their argument. Whereas you're just repeating it in a funny voice.
Yeah,
that's basically what he did.
It's what I sent you. Like, good argument. Yeah. However, I have John Hagel as the crying soy chat and Goethe as the 18th century chat.
Yeah, exactly. And that's basically what he did. He basically published a paper to a humanities journal, which the journal also has a section for nonfiction and opinions alongside the academic stuff because that's what humanities is, right? But this guy thought that he was actually, proving the postmodernists wrong by kind of like making like a hoax paper, whereas all he did was basically just copy already existing stuff and like write vaguely about the stuff, which was not even like wrong because he's just copying already existing truths, and well, not truths but accepted theories in postmodern circles. And he was like, yeah, postmodernism is done. It really wasn't. And wow. She has a lot of other videos as well, really interesting videos, like astronomy has a colonialism problem, and gravity is a social construct, and that's okay. They're great videos. How science isn't all that it's like made up to be by powerful people basically. And it's about how even like scientific reductionism is still it's still very what do you call it? It's not. I don't want to say it's not good because that's a very that's not correct thing to say, but like it's great to like hear from an actual science person.
Yeah, I'm looking at this video called How to Fix Science Education in the Whole World.
Yeah.
A Practical Guide to Systemic Change. I want to watch that. Yeah, that sounds really interesting. And her bio as well. I went to grad school and all I got was a lousy understanding of a systemic problem in science. And that's cool.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. I don't
think there's like anyone in like on YouTube who's tackling science as such from a humanities point of view. Because okay, here's like a little thing. So way back when I was like only starting to get into like philosophy and theory, when I like only recently had decided I want to like do philosophy or like theory or literature or something like that for college. One big thing that like always like kept bugging me was basically science, right? Why take philosophy and like all this stuff when science exists? The truth is science, right?
Yeah.
And I always thought that if we are going to like pit scientists and for the sake of the argument, let's say philosophers against each other, the scientists were winning because everyone's accepting science, but it really isn't the case. Science has been scrutinized for a while now by postmodern theorists, like a lot of big name folk like Foucault, for instance. It's only that people don't really care about it, or no, like they don't talk about it because of course they don't. Anyway, but yeah, great channel.
Yeah,
Check them out.
Very cool.
Okay, finally, I'll talk about a person and which can lead on to yours. So we have an overlap.
Yes.
CJ.
Oh yes, the goat. That's why they're the goat. The GOAT!
Yeah.
Oh my god, they're so good. Holy shit. Oh my god, the new video on Jordan Peterson suits. Genuinely, best video of the year. Best video I've seen in like 2 years maybe. Like, it's crazy. Like, the last video this good was, I think Action Button, this Boku no Natsu came out the same year as Bo Burnham versus Jeff Bezos, because that would have been the best video for like you know the decade.
But the craziest thing is, it's not even like their main thing that they're
they're not even. Yes, they have a different Jordan Peterson video that's like 7 hours. I was like, what? Oh my god, 7 hours of GJ. I'm going to bust. I'm going going to climax. Oh god.
You're going to bust. Okay.
No, but genuinely, CJ is the best working artist on YouTube right now. Like,
absolutely, that is.
Oh my god, incredible videos.
Yeah. And also, isn't it true that I introduced CJ to you? Therefore, I.
Oh right, you did. Yeah, that's true. You know, when I first saw it, I was like, huh, what is this
and
SHW?
I also introduced Drag to you, if you remember.
No, I watched Drag before, I think.
No. I'm very sure that I asked you, do you know what Drag is? And you don't know. And then I sent you the centrist stuff.
Yeah, you sent me the centrist. That's right. Oh, so you both saved my life and ruined my life. Fuck you, bitch. Very dialectical.
Yep.
Okay. But yeah, CJ, goddamn it. You can take it. I'm just gonna shout "I love you" for like 7 minutes then.
Well, yeah, I mean that's pretty much me as well. But like, yeah, the first video I watched of them, I don't even remember at this point. I think it's a Bo Burnham versus Jeff Bezos, which is a great 2 hour for 30-minute video about Inside, which was for a long time one of my favorite things of all time. It still is. It's still very, very great. You know, but I've just watched more stuff basically. But yeah,
I think you know, in between last time talking about this and this time, I actually also watched Inside, and you know, it's definitely very good. It also has a lot of parts that I was like, why was it there? Like, I don't know. It felt very much like a pure expression of like, this is what I made, boom, here, and that's charming in its own way. But like a lot of it, I wasn't very entertained by. But also there was a lot of really genius parts. So you know, all right. But this is not about Inside. This is about CJ.
Yeah, CJ's great. I think they have the kind of analyses and like stuff to say that no one on YouTube ever says. And like, especially, let's talk about the latest video, how Jordan Peterson's suits taught me fashion. That genuinely, like, I don't know, like completely turned around what fashion, like dressing is, like in my, like for me.
For me as well.
I've never ever like thought about fashion in that kind of way. And I've even like I even followed Derek Guy on Twitter before the video. So yeah, it was great. And like I really like how they don't shy away from incorporating stuff as in like normal stuff like tweets and like Twitter accounts and like memes into their analyses.
Yeah.
Because I think more people should do that, because like, you know, it's culture happening. Right.
Yeah, like this is like contemporary culture, the contemporary culture, and I just love how it's all integrated together. And yeah, Derek Guy, I also followed him. I think I didn't follow him, but I saw his tweets everywhere, and I was like, but I don't want to dress like a man. I want to dress like an MP. But then you know, I realized that that's not exactly maybe the reason why I was still struggling is because I didn't know the stuff that this video finally fucking opened my eyes to, right? Dress as a social language. God, that's such a simple thing, but if you listen to him explain in this 1 hour video, you'll be like, my mind is blown to 1,000 billion smithereens. It's so good.
And also the thing that I told you right after watching is like going through their backlog of videos, their body of work, you can see their philosophy forming real time every time they upload, and that's really, really fucking cool to see. Like you can see like hints of the same thing being said in objectivity and like objectively bad art, and then in subjectivity in art, and like the Kronk effect. And then we have here in Jordan Peterson, we get, you know, social meaning and language into the stuff. And I also really like how is, you know, social meaning. It's a language, post-structuralism.
Man, I think I also really like just looking at the backlog, because there seems to be always a bouncing in between like real philosophical work and just like bullshit. Like, and I really enjoyed that because this video, the Jordan Peterson one, it was like so much they had to read a book to like really get through it. But then the last video was just some random stuff about like going like digging into a comment and then talking about like online entitlement. Like it's still there's still substance, right?
And also they have like an hour-long video about Folgers coffee Christmas incest commercial.
That was a banger,
Indeed.
bro. Yeah, and it's just like it's very much what I'm. I see traces of like where I'm creatively really inclined to do because I also, I wouldn't. Yeah, okay. I would just say that I probably just subconsciously inspired by them. Like I love taking.
I think I agree. I mean, here too, but like not in the same way, of course.
Yeah. No. It's just for me is that like when I'm writing like conceptualizing like a blog thing or just something that's supposed to be blip or like kind of stupid, I still really want to be sincere in the way that I deliver it, and that's something I really got from CJ, and I can't just appreciate their videos more. Like every single video is so good. Like the 7 Deadly Artisans was the video where I still rewatch like at least every few months. Like that video is so succinctly describes every single fucking anxiety you can have as an artist. And then there's other bangers like Subjectivity in Art, and then the stupid ones like the Stranger Things one, which I didn't finish, but it was like
no, but it was also very very good. They like split. It's like an onion peeling kind of thing, where they start with the most obvious interpretation of that one scene, and then I mean all their videos are great.
Oh, I'm checking their Patreon. They have 5,000 members now. That's great. Almost 6,000. Deserved, fully deserved. Holy shit.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, man.
And also, I'm not talking too fast. You're listening too slow. That's fucking iconic.
Yes, icon. This is just like me for real. Except I'm just incoherent.
I mean, you wish. You wish.
I wish. But okay. Well, since
I genuinely wish I could talk fast, but yeah.
Yeah. My thoughts are going at a faster rate than my stupid mouth can enunciate usually. But okay, since you've talked about CJ, let's just go to the bottom row over here to my little stupid boys and the girl. So
okay.
Savannah Brown. I probably talked about her somewhere else, but not in the 3x3 last time we did. And I mean, she's just a writer, like a genuine, real published writer and poet who makes YouTube videos sometimes about like some things like love, state of the world, or just like other stuff. She's very much indebted in like the kind of bisexual lighting, like projector shit. But I think she pioneered a lot of it. Like if you go back to like how long ago what were these videos, and a lot of them like deal with just pretty personal stuff. And I guess that's what I like. Like she talks about like how she realized she had autism and talking about like forming human connections and some genuinely pretty real things. And it's all approached with the artistic sincerity of a genuine writer. And their videos are a joy to listen to watch. And also I really like their vibe. And also I tried to read one of their books. I got like halfway through. It was pretty good, but it was like, God damn, this is just like a normal young adult novel. It's not really anything special. But maybe some other stuff that they wrote, like the poetry, would be different. Yeah, I'm really appreciative of their work, even though they don't come up with much stuff. Have you watched? I've
tried to watch one video. I think it was like something about love or something.
Yeah, what is Love, Baby Don't Hurt Me, or Baby You're Hurting Me?
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, I don't even remember what happened there. Yeah. I think it's like a blank in my memory.
Yeah, I think you are much less. You've admitted this to me that you're less compelled by just like fancy prose.
Yeah, that's true.
Where I feel like, God damn it, the way she phrased that, God damn, jeez, like that's my reaction.
I mean,
to
I get it, but like, no, I'm also like that, but I don't know. I guess I don't see it. Maybe.
Oh, I guess that's fair.
Yeah, maybe I'll give it a go sometime.
Yeah, maybe. And now with the same literary artistic integrity, we have Dunkey. Holy shit.
Of course.
I really thought about like Dunkey. I've talked about him a lot, but if you're really talking about who influenced my sense of humor the most, it's Dunkey. Like just the way he edits, his comedic timing is fucking unparalleled on YouTube. And even his like, I think the last video I genuinely really loved because he's been uploading a lot. I don't know why. People joke in the comments that it's because his baby.
I think like he made a video about why he's uploading a lot too.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was a joke, of course.
Yeah. People are commenting that like, you know, he realized that he has to pay for his baby's tuition or something. But yeah, you know, his voice is iconic and the jokes he makes is just amazing. Like the way he's able to break down every single popular game into a joke.
Isn't fuck you, Spider-Man?
Yeah, that's him. That's him. Big Yoshi is also him, and there's like donkey quotes all over the internet.
So the fuck you Spider-Man thing that like repeats in my mind
fuck
at
you,
least once a week. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the last video I genuinely like cackling, laughing all the way through was his Yakuza 8 video called like Yakuza 8 Infinite Wealth is like the game's name, and he called it Yakuza 8 Many Money.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
and it was like. That video is just the way. I mean, Yakuza is very much of a donkey core game. Like it's very silly and you know it fits his vibe. But the way he's able to complement it, it's just fucking great. And yeah, he's gonna stay one of my favorite like comedic influences for a long time.
And like if I ever have like a friend group, if we're not constantly doing donkey references, then I don't want a friend group.
Yeah. Fuck you, Spider-Man. All right. Yeah, we can move on to. We also have an overlap in the last row I have, which is versus Wolves / Super Eyepatch Wolf. Maybe we can talk about that.
And also, I also want to talk about Tim Rogers because
for sure.
Yeah.
I
forgot about him because he's fucking haven't uploaded in a while.
Yeah, but he's still the GOAT. So versus Wolves, I guess we can go with that because that's the newest venture between Wooly versus and
that's
Eyepatch
like
Wolves.
Like a half overlap because I have Super Eyepatch Wolf.
Yeah.
Not versus Wolves, although I really enjoy versus Wolves a lot.
Yeah, I think generally I would still say Super Eyepatch Wolf puts out on average the more enjoyable content for me right now. But I just the whole versus Wolves idea and the way they're going about it is very fun.
Like, absolutely one of the best podcasts I can think of. Their like chemistry is great, and like I really like their bits a lot.
Oh my god, the way they turn podcasting into a narrative is admirable. It's awesome. And you know, right now they're in the friendship arc where everything is fine. But I'm just waiting for the last shoe to drop.
And like the last video, I think John recommended Twin Peaks, right?
Yes, and that's just fire.
Yeah, and he says, "Do you know anything about the Double or Diner?" And Wooly asks, "Does it have anything to do with or?" I want to.
Yeah, you wanted to probably like destroy the screen. Right there.
I want to die.
Yeah, but hey. I think with versus Wolves, well, a few things. One, they're genuine great friends, and you know that's always great to see, and they have a great dynamic. But also just the way they talk about media. It's not as analytical and in depth as like Tim Rogers, but it's a very much like, yeah, dude, we're really passionate about this, and let's talk about it. Like it's a very much like a hangouty thing. And especially if you watch the bonus episodes, which I've paid for them because I'm a capitalist. I'm under.
Nah, I mean paying for these kind of things
is probably good.
That's
and the way they just they fully dive into something is although not the deepest thing, like the way they talk about it is so sincere, and I really enjoy it. And I think I put versus Wolves here because also I tried getting more into like Wooly stuff, and even though his content is like mostly Let's Plays, which I'm not that interested in, and his Disco Elysium Let's Play kind of fucking pissed me off because it was very much like I realized that Disco Elysium is a game that really puts a mirror back into the player, and I realized that he's kind of like a moralist cuck, like a centrist cuck, and I was like, okay, well, you know, I don't expect. There
was a lot of funny moments in that.
Yeah, it's very funny, but like for example, when they came to like, just like, I don't know, let's just say he has a very strong distaste towards criminals, and he like just like okay, Classier immediately arrest her. I was like. But okay, you know, and I think
I get it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's I'm overblowing the differences. But through him, I also discovered a lot of like pretty funny stuff. Like this video series called Dracula Flow. Like it's just that his corner of the internet culture is different than what I'm used to, and it's interesting to peek into there once in a while. But yeah,
and obviously we have to mention at least Gone in 60 Seconds.
Oh yes! Oh my god, that's one of the best things YouTube has ever graced. Yeah. Like I think
I talked about it in this podcast, right?
Did you?
I'm not too sure, but
I'm pretty sure. I watched it. I watched it only a while ago, and I'm sure as a spoiler review, I wouldn't have let you to talk about what it actually was.
No, I'm pretty sure I talked about how in the last section of that series where John confronts the other round, I guess. No, afterwards, after all the falling out happened, and then John's like, "I'm sorry, Wooly, but the thing is, I've been surrounded by people who aren't into the same stuff that I am, and when I finally got to meet someone who's also into the same stuff I am, I couldn't control myself, something like that." Which I found very relatable and shit. So yeah,
that's very good, and also just the way they were actually able to make something kind of creepy, in the
creepy and funny,
3.
Dark comedy kind of thing.
Yeah, it's such a simple way. It just shows the flexibility of horror, because I think the I guess one of the big horror moments is when they're trying to. Wooly is watching Hunter x Hunter with John in his house, and he's like, let me get some food, and he just gets a lot of really weird spaghetti everywhere, and it's that's a really effective thing. And then we camera turns, and then John suddenly appears, of course, in this classic horror fashion, and it's great. It's great. We gotta do something like this, but with Blade. Of
course.
We gotta do it.
Oh no.
Blade in 60 seconds. What do you think about the song, Blade?
I'm the sadist here. We'll do it, but with I can't think of anything that I'm into that you're not.
Maybe read Hegel.
I'll make you read Science of Logic.
Yeah.
Logic in 60 Logic in 60 seconds. We'll do it. Coming in 2020 something.
Yeah, this is gonna be the poster for this.
Ah, fuck you.
Right.
Okay, I mean, I'm just saying, you have your face out there, buddy. Watch out.
Don't worry, I've already made memes myself. Look at this one. Well, not memes. I just took a screenshot. This is now my my profile picture on Instagram. Okay. All right. I think I can take it away with Tim Rogers then.
Wait, I didn't talk about Super Eyepatch Wolf.
Yeah, that's right. Super Eyepatch Wolf, the main man himself.
Super Eyepatch Wolf is probably the person that got me into making video essays in the first place.
Yeah.
I remember one afternoon. During quarantine, I watched his bizarre world of fake psychics. And I watched it once, and I watched it twice, and I watched other streamers react to it. Not because I liked the other streamers, I just wanted to watch it again, but I didn't want to watch the same thing again because whatever. But yeah, and after that day, I kind of had the feeling that I have to do something like this. And then then it's history, I guess.
Yeah, everything's history.
Here. I owe a lot of stuff, and not physically, materially speaking, but I owe a lot of what I am to Super Eyepatch Wolf and the channel, and even his his pathos, not the pathos, that's not the correct word. His ethos.
Yeah,
that's the word. Of none of his videos are the same commentary style. This is bad thing, bad. All the videos he makes, all the stuff he makes videos about are things that he genuinely feels something for, and I really enjoy that. And also he's funny. He's lighthearted.
And I think his humor has genuinely really hit the way
it has.
The awkward type of humor is very nice. Yeah.
And also now his streaming stuff is also getting really good.
Oh my god, that's right. His whole Dokapon Kingdom lore shit, it's crazy.
Yeah. And also he's also leaning into a lot of the bits, and he's also gotten much more used to being a funny little guy on the internet.
The final gamer always has a plan.
The final gamer.
Yes. It's crazy. Also, I really like what he's doing right now in the Ghosttober events, where he's like highlighting small indie games. And I think in one of them he played a super polished game that was like, it's by the studio that's been making great games for like decades, and then he just picked it up and he promoted it to so many people. I watched the other video essay on it, so I was really excited to see him cover that. It's called fuck. I forgot his name. Mirrored Alice or something. Yeah, it's just like Alice in Wonderland type shit. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. And also he has the video about Garfield, which is genuinely one of the best videos of all time.
I think CJDX's video is gonna go beyond that for me, but it's still good. I think
one of the best. Doesn't say the best.
Yeah. Well, that's still
it
true.
It is still
yeah,
one of the best.
Yeah. I don't think that's a stretch at all. All right, enough glazing for the Wolfman.
Yep, I'm not a furry.
Yeah. Let's talk about.
Although I used to have like the furry profile picture for a while.
Which one?
Do you remember the bunny rabbit one from Donnie Darko?
Oh, well.
That was only the OGs remember that. Holy shit!
Yeah, that's the profile I used for linking an LCL.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I'm so glad that's not a thing. Yeah, so glad that's not a thing anymore. All right, action button. Action button is still,
hell yeah.
I still rewatch the Boku no Yasumi video whenever I feel like watching something great. And yeah, he's still one of my favorite writers on the internet. And even though
Indeed. Same.
not a lot of videos out, sometimes recently I actually copied the text and I saved it in my Google Drive because I didn't want it to be lost to sites or whatever. It's a friendly letter to everyone, which is an essay he wrote in 2019 about his dead friend that I initially wanted to build, my another Mariko video on. But
I remember. I've heard that. Yeah.
And the way he just so poignantly talks about it, like it still hits me, and it's one of the most devastating things I've ever read. And I'm just so excited for whatever he's coming up. He's great, and one day I hope to work with him. Like that's like the best thing I could. Some people I'm like, CJDX. I think he would like hate working with anybody by himself. But then there's people like Action Button where like I genuinely want to be a part of whatever he's doing. I think it's so important, and especially in this later. Recently he posted something on Patreon after getting robbed, which is sad. But then he was talking about how when he's working on these things right now, on these essays on his favorite video games ever, he gets the feeling that, this is the last time I'm going to talk about this in my life. I'm fucking 47. And I was like, fuck, dude, fuck. And that's such a powerful thing, and I'm so excited. We're going to host a watch party. Maybe we can stream it. I don't know if streaming is allowed for
maybe. Maybe. It probably is, right? I mean, people stream anime.
No, I'm saying like as in like we have 24 subscribers. I don't know if we can stream if that like thing is allowed.
No, I'm pretty sure it's allowed because I don't think it's based on subscribers.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, we're gonna do a watch along. It's gonna be 10 hours.
Otherwise, bots exist.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we don't have much to say about him.
Yeah, that's also I also completely share those feelings. He's great. Tokimeki Memorial video, Doom, and then obviously the best, as of right now at least, Boku no Natsuyasumi. Holy shit, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and the last old fuck I want to talk about is Professor Skye, who I think is like the oldest guy on here. Yeah, he's 48.
Probably.
Yeah, and he is one of my new favorite YouTubers like of all time, and he's a French professor from Boston who records videos, and he insists on a few rules, right? Like the one rule is that if you want him to respond to your comment, type AVAA, means awesome video as always, or ass video as always. He'll just always heart it to get like interaction. But I think it was when he was smaller. Now he's kind of blown up, covering the Drake and Kendrick beef. But before that, and he also like, I never edit my videos. I don't edit my videos, like so. Yeah, he wants to keep the spontaneous feeling to his stuff, and it's just so fucking great. Like,
that's the kind of thing that I wanted to do with Gray Caulfield. I may do with Gray Caulfield. It's not off the table.
Well, when you turn 47, maybe you can try. But yeah, just the way he talks about music, it's so he comes in like a lesson. Like he prepares a PDF, like a PowerPoint presentation. He's like, he shows it, in a really like clunky way. And then he talks about how this modern piece of rap music connects to so much everything else, right? The new, I can list off like hundreds of videos that I really love from him. But the one that sticks out the most right now is the Jordy Greep, the new sound coverage that he did.
Oh, right? I've been waiting to watch that.
Yeah, Jordy Greep's Incel Musical, that's what he called it. And he connected, first of all, he connects, obviously the Red Pill stuff, the Manosphere stuff, and then he connects it to Robert Crumb, which is a cartoonist from the 50s, was one of the most famous indie cartoonists, and how he depicted grotesque sexual acts. And then he talks about the concept of courtly love in the Victorian times, and he talks about all of that, really great connecting everything. And he talks about how this piece of music connects to other pieces of music, and how the main ethos of the album, and analyzing through that. And then he talks about his personal stories. He talks about how when he was a kid, he used to feel the same way in certain instances as the incel protagonist, and that's why he was he was able to relate it so much. And it's just great, the way he's so unafraid to show his vulnerability, because he's a fucking old guy who's been through a lot. It's awesome. Especially on the Blade video, he did a Blade Cold Visions video when he came out, and he called Blade Taylor Swift for internet boys, which is which I don't necessarily disagree with.
I hate both of them.
And he was talking about how this kind of despondent sadness in Blade's music is something. Well, you don't care about Blade, but either way, he was talking about how go to therapy, guys. He has a very strong moral code, and he tries to help people, because he knows that from the music he's covering, he's mostly talking to young people, and he is not trying to do I'm a moral high horse, I know so much as an old guy, but he is genuinely trying to help the people that he might reach with his voice, and it's just so cool. And also he's smart as fuck. So yeah, one of my favorite YouTubers. I await every upload.
I started to watch his video on JPEG Mafia's latest album.
Yeah, Scary and the Hose.
Yeah, I did like that. I like it. It's as you said, it's not edited, but he knows a lot of stuff. He's very knowledgeable in what he's talking about, which it's great.
And also the way he talks is I think it's more just his personality, but it fits well with YouTube. He is very good at linking things to make something hyperbole. He's like, JPEG Mafia is the best guy to use drums in hip hop, right? Shut the fuck up. Alright, I'm done. I don't want to do this. You broke my momentum. Okay. Alright, let's get into your last three. Or last
okay. We talked about CJ, we talked about CW. We have we have more than three.
Yeah,
we have four left.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get out people that I don't really have a lot to say about. We have Big Joel.
Yes.
Big Joel is just Big Joel. And also Little Joel.
Yeah, Little Joel's so funny. I love that they're continuing the legacy of freestyling songs with a guy, with his friend. Those are always awesome.
Yeah.
Everybody from my town.
Unfortunately, his name is not Joel, so
yeah, I'm gaslighted.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, fucking cringe.
Yeah, man.
L.
It's just so disappointing.
Yeah, cancel.
Yeah,
cancel.
Big Joel's great. Especially his video. He's great. I mean, I don't have much.
I like the conservative comedy one. That one's pretty good.
Of course, yeah, that is very good. He's approaching things from not a lot more laid back and kind of listen to me, guys. That kind of way, right?
Yeah, I just like how sensible he is. He talks about things in such a way where you can't help but see his point, because he's just so hey guys, today we're gonna talk about this thing.
Yeah. He's a simple little guy, but he's simple but not stupid. He's very smart.
Yeah.
Okay, Big Joel. Before Big Joel, I had I guess an honorable mention. I had Lily Alexander, but I removed her because I haven't watched too much of her videos.
Oh, if we're talking honorable mentions, we have I have a lot more.
But this one I am saying right now because I changed her for Big Joel because I've only watched two and I really like them, but I think I should watch more to talk about them, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
But they're also great. Their latest video, Project Blueprint and the Horror of Eternal Life, is very, very good. It's genuinely very good. And also, Art Won't Save Us from Capitalism is also
that
good.
one was
I think
awesome.
You sent it to me.
Yeah, that one is so fucking good, dude. Yeah.
They're great. And also this one, I think you've probably seen the guy, the billionaire, the guy who's trying to
You
stay
mean the
young.
new one, the immortality thing? Yeah. I saw the thumbnail a lot, but I have not seen it yet.
Yeah, but you've probably seen him some on YouTube, or like him being discussed by someone, right?
He looks like that one guy from the music video that goes of somebody I used to know. Do you know that song?
Yeah, I remember.
That song, yeah.
Gautier,
yeah. The true one-hit wonder of this generation.
Yeah. But yeah, so like I've seen him around like in YouTube circles, not seen him around obviously, but like I've heard him being mentioned here and there, but I've never seen people actually look into him. And this video is not only a really good look into what that guy is about, but also about the usual stuff, how we're all fucked and we should eat these eat the rich.
Yes,
anyway,
exactly.
Moving on, we have the last 3 now.
Yes.
Actually, last 4.
Yeah, you were talking about the honorable mentions. I mean, okay, there's a few that we can talk about like in shorter length, like H-Bomb and Jacob Geller.
Okay, yeah. H-Bomb is great.
H-Bomb is H-Bomb.
Yep, H-Bomb is like the great uncle of BreadTube. I don't think there's like he like even his like older videos that I still like revisit from time to time. He's just a trooper, I guess. He's great.
Yeah.
And also, obviously you have to mention the James Somerton thing. He almost like single-handedly brought down.
Yeah.
James Somerton. Incredible.
Yeah.
And then we have Jacob Geller. A lot of inspiration from Jacob Geller. I don't think anybody makes the kind of videos Jacob Geller does. I don't think anybody like sees the same kind of. I don't think anybody like plays games like how he does. I don't see. He's like very. He connects a lot of really like wide topics, but like all his videos are also very focused on a very not abstract per se, but like not conventional type of videos. I really like those. I guess you can obviously see a lot of inspiration with my videos as well.
For sure, yeah.
And then we have Kay and Skittles.
You've talked about Kay and Skittles before as well, like on the last bracket. I remember. Do you remember?
Yeah, Kay and Skittles is a smaller YouTuber. They are. They also make video game / media analysis focused on not focused on, but they political stuff as well. Yeah. Their video on history, or like on preservation of history, or like history, something about history, where they talk about 2 games. One, the one game that developed out of a Skyrim mod called the Forgotten City.
Yeah.
And also the Penitent one? No. Penitent or Pentiment. Something with P. Anyway. Not the likes of P. So yeah, they're great. They really know their stuff when it comes to theory and like, Marxist theory, and like, dialectical materialism, if you want to say that, if you want to be pretentious. And like one thing, a really simple way to talk to like describe them or describe why I like them is that all the 5 minutes of most of their videos are just pure rhetoric from Disco Elysium talking.
Really?
And like some of their videos genuinely like touch the emotional part of my being, which not a lot of YouTubers do. I mean, Jacob Geller, some of his videos do, but like, again, not all his videos are like that, but some of them do. But Kay and Skittles almost consistently does that, which with each of their videos. So yeah, Kay and Skittles, great.
Yeah. And lastly, we have not lastly. Who else do we have there?
We have one more person.
Avila, yes. Maybe
Alexander Avila.
Yes, Alexander Avila. Maybe a potential GOAT in the future. I think if they keep doing the thing they're doing right now, they are gonna be one of the best. Like the catalog they're building up is fucking insane.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They started off as he started off as Are They Gay?
Yeah.
which is the most I don't know, like mid 2000s internet gay person thing ever.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Purposes of the pale. Are they gay?
And then he
undoubtedly. The answer is undoubtedly. Go on.
Okay. Buddy. Stop.
Brother.
Yeah. They made the video The End of Are They Gay?
Yeah.
Where he says he's graduating from college. He has a sociology degree. And now he's making some of the best videos that's coming out right now.
Yeah.
TikTok gave me autism. Genuinely shook my worldview. Like, not worldview, but my view on basically myself to an extent, which is not something you usually say about YouTube videos or like YouTube video essays, right?
Yeah.
And also about other people and like how we view psychological disorders and the video is about politicizing diagnosis or self-diagnosis, which is something that I genuinely believe needs to happen. And then Did Feminism Fail Men? Also another great video. I think all videos from TikTok Gave Me Autism are like some of the best work on YouTube.
Yeah.
The video isn't just about Taylor Swift, it's about you. Another great video. Although I kind of have my gripes with it at the end, where they he kind of talks about how the hermeneutics of temptation. That's a different thing. Sorry. The hermeneutics of suspicion, not temptation. Temptation is a different thing. Hermeneutics of suspicion, where he's like, all those people, they're very negative, and we have the affirmative version of it, which I don't really necessarily agree with it, but like the whole thing as such, they're great. And also how conservatives created and canceled gender, another great.
I need to watch that
video.
Yeah,
definitely watch it, because that is my introduction into Judith Butler, and also like the gender critical folk who are very interesting, and I like a lot of their stuff. And I think we talked about this, or like not specifically the video, but like a topic that came up in the video that's about being non-essentialist about gender, and how saying they didn't choose to be gay and they didn't choose to be transgender isn't exactly correct. Although, as to if we should say it for like a practical purpose is a different. That's a different argument.
Yeah.
But it's not exactly correct. And also, they're also these videos, the Hamilton and the Death of Obama era, another great video. He's the first to introduce me, and like he's one of the first that I've seen on YouTube to talk about the postmodernist side, not postmodern, I don't want to say that word again, a critical theorist side of theory, and like doubting science, and like usually the things that people think take to be good and just and right.
He's already kind of doing that with the I think the self-diagnosis video, but maybe this one he kind of makes it more explicit. And then in how conservatives created gender and canceled it, and canceled gender, he a big part of the big chunk of it is Foucault's The Order of Things. Oh, I have the copy right now. I have not cracked open because I'm scared of shit.
I started reading it, but then Foucault is talking. He's writing about some painting, and then I haven't touched it. But yeah, I will read it one day soon. Foucault is a very important person that I need to get into. But yeah, Alexander Avila.
Yeah.
The work they're doing, I don't think. Yeah, again, I mean this is my list, and obviously I guess this applies for all of them. No one on YouTube is doing the same thing as they are.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree. This is a goddamn great list by both of us, if I say so myself.
By me, especially.
Yes, I'm not gonna go with this. All right. Yeah. I don't know. We've been going for almost 2 hours now, and I'm slightly delirious because I've been, this has been a long day. So I think we just call it here, right?
Yep. Let's call it here.
I hope you guys got some recommendations. Yes. Hope you guys got some recommendations for YouTubers. And please check out every single guy and contact them and say, hey, this guy from a podcast wants to collaborate with you. And do that, harass them. Yep. And yeah.
Then try to find where they live.
Yes, and tell me. Yes, tell me specifically. And then I'll knock on their door. All right. Yeah. Thank you for watching another episode of Purposes of the Pale. We're closing up to the episode 20 mark. Kind of. I mean, this is 15. Oh no, it's 16. There's still a few more. I can't count. But yeah, it's gonna be a great occasion by then.
We are, but still we are. Yeah.
Yeah. In overall videos, we're gonna definitely reach that because we also have the book club now. But yeah. Speaking of the book club, we have decided that the book we're gonna read is Story of the Eye by George Bataille. Bataille. Some French fucking pronunciation. Yeah. We look forward to that. Hope sometime. All right. Thank you guys for watching. I've been Kyrus.
And I've been Gwei.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.